Hello everybody, this is VG Rothko. I am back, and I'm here with a different kind of video from the others that I've posted so far. This will be part one of my anime collection, and I decided to do this video around now because with the holidays upon us, and with a lot of anime sales going on, I will be expanding my collection pretty significantly. So before all of those gifts and packages come through, I decided to do a full collection of the anime that I have so far. It's not a massive collection, but it's pretty sizable. So I will split this up into two parts. What you see here is the first half of my collection. It's the DVDs that I own, the anime movies that I own, and then 3 series that I haven't watched yet. But I'll be going into all of these individually, giving you some of my thoughts on them. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please leave a comment below with anime suggestions that you think I should watch, or what you guys think about these films or series. So without further delay, let's get into discussing the collection. So I will begin my collection video with my anime movies. First one here is one of my favorite anime movies of all time. It's pretty recent, but it's just so beautiful. It's such a fantastic story with incredible animation. This is Wolf Children, directed by Mamoru Hosoda. Now, a lot of people consider Mamoru to be the next Hayao Miyazaki, and I would not say that they are wrong in thinking that. His style is incredibly beautiful, incredibly singular, and his stories are a little bit more, I would say, mature, less light and easily digestible compared to Miyazaki movies. This is a very bittersweet movie about a family, 2 children who are half wolf, half human, and their human mother, raising them alone after their wolfman father passes away. I'll read you a little bit of the back description here. Hana was a student before she was a mother. She was bright and pretty, and her future had endless possibilities. Then she met a man who turned out to be a wolf, and together they built a family. Hana loved her mate fiercely, but fate took him from her, leaving her alone with 2 unusual kids she didn't know how to raise. Frightened of being discovered, Hana and her wolf children fled to the countryside to build a new life. Raising her little wild things was an adventure. It left Hana bruised, scratched, exhausted, and joyously overwhelmed as her pups grew stronger and wandered further every day. This is a mother's journey. Teach your children to chase their dreams and smile through the tears as they disappear into the world in search of who they will become. Hana wasn't always a mother, but it was always what she was meant to be. Seriously, a fantastic film, gorgeously animated. Very Ghibli-esque in some degrees. This is the Blu-ray, and then these are the 2 DVDs. An interesting note about comparing Hosoda to Miyazaki is that he was actually the person that Ghibli wanted to hire to direct Howl's Moving Castle. But they had creative differences. He wanted to make a very different movie than what Ghibli wanted to make, so he ended up leaving, and Hayao Miyazaki directed Howl's Moving Castle. But I do think that he is an incredibly talented director, and I cannot wait to see what his next movie is like. It's called The Beast and the Boy, or The Boy and the Beast. Bakemono no Ko is what it's called in Japanese, and it looks incredible. So I'm very, very excited, and I absolutely love this movie. This is a adaptation of a manga written by a man named Tayao Matsumoto. It was directed by a American guy, I believe. His name's Michael Arias. I think he's American, but he could be European or Australian or something. He's a white guy. I've seen him in interviews. But he directed this Japanese anime movie, and I think it turned out incredibly well. This is one of my favorite anime films of all time. The visuals, based on the manga, are so just stylized and interesting and just fascinating to watch, and the story is very great, very visually metaphorical, and it is an exquisite anime. I would absolutely agree. Based on the manga Black and White. From the animation studio that brought you The Animatrix comes this visually stunning new anime film based on the popular Japanese manga written by Tayao Matsumoto. In Treasure Town, life can be both gentle and brutal. This is never truer than for our heroes, Black and White, two street urchins who watch over the city, doing battle with an array of old-world yakuza and alien assassins vying to rule the decaying metropolis. So it's set in this sort of utopian, dystopian, really, you can see just from the design on the cover here, this is what the city looks like. It's called Treasure Town, and it's this extremely dense, really intricately designed and very well imagined universe. And it's a little bit violent, a little bit wacky, a little bit funny, a little bit sad. It's really an incredible movie, and I absolutely think you should watch it if you have not yet. Next, Cowboy Bebop, the movie. This is a good movie. I would say it's definitely a good movie. It's nowhere near as great as the original animated television series, but as a standalone story, it is really entertaining and immaculately animated. The animation in this is really incredible and a treat to watch. Mars, Days Before Halloween 2071. Villains blow up a tanker truck on Highway 1, releasing a deadly virus that kills hundreds. Fearing a bigger, even more devastating biochemical attack, an astronomical award is offered for the arrest and capture of the person behind the destruction. On the spaceship Bebop, Spike and his crew of bounty hunters are bored and short on cash. But with the news of the reward, everything changes. So yeah, if you are not familiar with Cowboy Bebop, it is about a crew of bounty hunters just flying around the galaxy on their ship called the Bebop, and this particular movie follows them trying to score the bounty that was placed on this biochemical terrorist. It's a really entertaining movie. Definitely worth watching if you're a fan of the series or if you just like anime movies in general. Definitely check it out. Next, this is the last anime movie that I own. Paprika from the exceptionally talented Satoshi Kon. This is probably my second favorite Satoshi Kon movie. First favorite would be Tokyo Godfathers. If you're looking for an amazing holiday movie, Tokyo Godfathers is the pick. It is an incredible, charming, really joyful ride through Satoshi Kon's imagination. But this movie, on the other hand, is not quite so joyful. It is twisted and strange and just a fever dream of a movie. It's, from the description up here on the top, Tickling Wonder. It is a really great way to put it. It's essentially set within the imaginations of people. It's literally them going into the dreams of people, so it's a really visual, a very visually strange and fascinating film. I'll read you the back here. Prepare to enter the realm of fantasy and imagination. kaleidoscopic mindscape of sheer visual genius. This magical tale centers on a revolutionary machine that allows scientists to enter and record a subject's dream. After it is stolen, a fearless detective and brilliant therapist join forces to recover the device before it falls into the hands of a dream terrorist in this gripping anime thriller from acclaimed director Satoshi Kon. And you can see from the little panels on the side, the animation still holds up to this day. It is really incredible to behold. Satoshi Kon sadly is no longer with us, so being able to own one of his classics on Blu-ray is really a treat, and hopefully his other works are released on Blu-ray or re-released on DVD, so they're not so rare and expensive. I'd very much like to own Perfect Blue, Tokyo Godfathers, and Millennium Actress as well. But Paprika, an incredible movie, absolutely a must-watch if you haven't seen it. And I think sorry about that. I believe it's pretty cheap on Amazon if you want to pick this up. So, next, I will be showing you guys some anime series. The first two that I will show you are on DVD. I picked these up on DVD because I believe it is very unlikely for them to ever get a Blu-ray release, as sad as that is. And these are also, of course, old anime that are only available in the original 4:3 aspect ratio, so a high-definition Blu-ray release would probably not look much better or different from the DVD releases anyways. So here we have His and Her Circumstances. This is a romance comedy that takes place between the two smiling characters we see on the front here. It is Yukino and Harima. Yukino is a sort of egomaniac. On the surface, she seems like a beautiful model student with perfect grades, and she's great at sports and very humble and lovable. But on the inside, she is really doing it all just for the attention, and she loves to be viewed as number one until Harima comes along, and he is also a naturally brilliant person, very attractive, and she starts to see him as a rival and tries to figure out a way to sort of dethrone him and reclaim her spot on top. And through a series of misunderstandings and happenstance, they end up in a relationship, and it's a very charming anime with really fantastic characters. You don't see anime these days with characters as like genuinely interesting and as like resistant of tropes as you do in this. Both of these characters seem like real people. They're very well imagined, and their conversations and dialogue are really fantastic. Here we have all 5 of the discs for the series. I'll read you the back here. Like a drug, Yukino Miyazawa was addicted to admiration and praise from those around her. She worked hard to become the perfect student, the perfect girl. But that was before him, Soichiro Arima. The instant she met him, she hated him. Without even trying, he snatched the very glory from her hands by easily acing the high school entrance exam that should have made her the class representative. To take back what is rightfully hers, Yukino is putting all her efforts into plotting her revenge. But was love part of the plan? A very sweet, charming anime with, again, it's not a sappy melodrama romance. It's a very realistic, charming romance between two characters that seem very real and really well imagined. reimagined with great dialogue. This is a modern classic, in my opinion, and really a must-watch if you haven't seen it and you like anime or just romance stories in general, or just stories with great characters. It's really, it really, I guess, transcends like anime tropes. Like it's more than just an anime romance. It's a great romance in general, and really worth watching. Okay. Next up, School Rumble. School Rumble is a comedy with light romance elements. When I say romance, it's more just a comedic element about unrequited love between this character Harima, this character Tenma. It is one of the funniest animes I've ever seen. Originally, it was very difficult for me to get into this show. I watched the first 5 minutes of the first episode many times and just thought it wasn't for me. But after sitting through the full first episode, I very quickly realized what I was missing out on. And this is a hilarious series. You will laugh so much watching this. It's really charming, and again, it resists the tropes that we see in anime these days. Yes, it is a high school romance, but the characters are very unique and interesting and don't fall into like the molds that you see in so many anime, like the stereotypical tsundere or something like that. This girl is kind of a tsundere, but she has other redeeming qualities that make her interesting beyond that. I don't see... there is a background description on the inside here, so I will read this. Harima usually plays it cool, but lately he's freaking out thanks to his crush on sophomore cutie Tenma, who is consistently freaking out due to her crush on classmate Karasuma. Too bad Karasuma is completely clueless and only seems to care about eating curry. The curry, while delicious, doesn't seem to have a crush on anyone. Seriously, that's all you need to know. Everything else is just the icing on the pig. You'll see what I mean about the pig. So, if that little description is any indication, this is a very zany, wacky, and out there series, and it is incredibly hilarious and a must watch. So definitely check this one out, and I'm very happy to own it on DVD. Awesome, awesome series. So these next 3 that I'll be showing you are all anime series that I have yet to watch. They're either a gift that I haven't watched yet or something that I bought for cheap that I thought I might enjoy. So this one is one that I bought for about $12 on Amazon. The complete Fooly Cooly collection. From the powerhouse studios that brought you Eden of the East, Gurren Lagann, and Evangelion. You can't get her out of your head. So, I loved Gurren Lagann, and I have a general idea of what kind of anime that I know I will enjoy, and I have a pretty strong inclination that this is going to be a series that I will love, from the art style to just the wacky, over-the-top story that I've read about and seen in the clips that I've watched. This definitely seems like an anime that I'm going to enjoy. When the 3 powerhouse creators of Eden of the East, Gurren Lagann, and Neon Genesis Evangelion bumped heads, they spawned the series that broke all the rules, then broke the mold. Naota is a detached 6th grader afflicted by the pangs of puberty. He's fooling around with his brother's ex-girlfriend when a crazed girl on a motor scooter runs him over, brains him with a bass guitar, and moves into his house. This pink-haired girl, Haruko, who claims she's an alien, hurls Naota into the middle of a mega-corporation's secret agenda. Oh, and now giant battling robots shoot from his skull. Mix in mind-bending animation and tunes that echo through your cerebellum to top off the trip that will have you falling hard for Fooly Cooly. So it sounds absolutely psychotic and crazy, and I love that. Very simple inside of the disc. Only 6 episodes here. A very short series, but it sounds wacky and awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to watching this one. So the next series that I have yet to watch is Serial Experiments Lain. I have the Blu-ray DVD combo pack here, and from what I understand, this is a very trippy, kind of psychological horror thriller anime, which is right up my alley. I love that sort of thing, and the art looks very creepy and interesting. Let's read the back here. Close the world, open the next. Decades before the internet was something people carried around in their pockets, these words introduced anime fans to a surreal existence where computer monitors served as portals to brave new worlds. Serial Experiments Lain and its deceptively ordinary title character redefined an entire generation's concept of the World Wide Web, prompting us all to suspiciously take note of humming power lines and central processing units. Follow along as 14-year-old Lain, driven by the abrupt suicide of a classmate, logs onto the Wired and promptly loses herself in a twisted mass of hallucinations, memories, and interconnected psyches. Close the world, open the next. It's as simple as the flip of a switch. That sounds absolutely awesome to me. Here we have the Blu-ray discs and the DVDs inside. And there's Lain. I'm also really looking forward to watching this one. It's a mind trip and something very different to the other anime that I've watched or own. So the last series that I have here is Eden of the East. I have not yet watched this one, and this was actually a gift from a friend who knows I haven't watched this yet. From everybody that I've spoken to about this series who's watched it, they all say it's fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to digging into this one. From what I understand, it is about these two characters and a sort of conspiracy theory that they are trapped in. So I will read you guys the back here. Some conspiracies are more than theories. Akira Takizawa wakes up naked outside the White House with no memories. He's got a gun in one hand, a cell phone in the other, and doesn't know if he's a good guy or one of the worst. He doesn't remember the phone gives him instant access to 10 billion yen and a woman who can make his most outlandish requests a reality. He doesn't recall his connection to the ongoing missile attacks terrorizing the Japanese people, or the part he played in the sudden disappearance of 20,000 shut-ins. He doesn't even remember he's supposed to save Japan, and will be murdered if he fails. Whatever it is he's tangled up in, Takizawa is definitely in deep, and that's not even scratching the surface. So, this definitely sounds like an intriguing sort of drama. Here are the discs. Pretty simple. This definitely sounds like an awesome series, and I'm looking forward to checking this one out. So, there you have it, guys. That is my anime collection, part 1. I will be making a part 2 video very shortly, so please look out for that in the coming weeks, and leave a thumbs up if you liked this video. Please subscribe. I will be making a lot more videos in the near future. So until next time, happy anime watching.